Okay, good afternoon, commissioners. Let's do a call to order and a roll call. We have Elizabeth Pasdrell.
Here.
We have Jeffrey Stelnick. Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay. We have Thomas Roast.
Yes.
We have Marcia Coupe.
Say yes.
Yes, present. Present. Okay. Item number 2, approval of agenda. 5 minutes for this, and it looks like it's attached. Yes, Maria, right here?
Yes. Yes, the agenda is the front right there, yeah.
Right, approval of today's agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to,
Motion to approve?
I move. Okay.
Okay, excellent. Agenda approved.
Second?
Oh, Jeffrey.
Perfect. All right.
Item number 3, brief announcement from staff commissioners and council liaisons. We have 5 minutes for this. Anybody want to start? Okay, I will start. This is my very last meeting with all of you. It's been a pleasure to work with you. I've learned a lot. Yes, I am resigning.
What if we combine with these?
Oh, I'm so resigning officially today. Yeah, sorry, Jeffrey. So I'm going on to volunteer with Davis Library Friends, which I'm already very active with. And libraries are my absolute true passion.
We should have our next meeting there.
I've already put in a request for it,
Okay,
Jeffrey.
the
I've already
agenda and
requested that we have a meeting at our library. So they haven't gotten back with me yet, but that was one of my last things that I did with the commission, is ask if we could have a commission meeting there
That was a good meeting.
sometime this spring, following their elder group that they have that meets there. Because, yeah, unfortunately, I was in the hospital last June when that happened, but I heard it was probably our best meeting of the year. So you saw I copied you on that. Then I have written them and asked them if we could have a meeting there sometime in the spring.
Yes.
So, good afternoon, Carol. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
We're just on item 3, Carol. Brief announcements from staff commissioners and council liaisons. And I just announced that this is my last meeting with the senior commission. So do you have anything that you would like to add on our brief announcements for item number 3?
I don't have it with me today.
Okay.
But I think there was a point in time count done recently for Davis, and the majority of the participants are seniors, and there's like maybe 40 of them. So that's distressing to hear when you have a senior commission.
What was that again, Carol? I didn't understand. What was that count for?
That's
That's the homeless count. That's the homeless
The
count.
homeless.
It's called
Okay.
point in time.
Okay, so 40 seniors in our city
Well,
were counted as homeless.
The
Yeah.
pit count isn't in yet. It won't be in until the end of the month. And
Usually it's in
that'll
February.
give us all the homeless and all the senior homeless. Last time we did it, there were 45 senior homeless, which is probably more now because nothing's been done to help them.
Do we have a total count, Carol, on the homeless population for the city?
Well, like Jeffrey said, that'll be at the end of the month.
Okay. Because I had read in previously that it was around 400, which seems really, really high for a population of 67,000. But,
It's very high.
yeah,
I see them every day.
same. Yeah, if you're out and about in our city, homelessness is everywhere. It's very epidemic. Okay, thank you for that, Carol. Item number 4, public comments. We have 5 minutes for this, and I see that we do have a member of the public joining us today. Would you like to comment? No, okay.
She listens.
Okay. In-person public comment speakers, okay, written comments. Maria, have we received any written comments to the commission?
Not from outside,
Right, from outside of us.
yes.
Okay, item number 5, we have 5 minutes for this, the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar considered routine and non-controversial, require no discussion, and are expected to have unanimous support. The consent calendar will be enacted by one motion. Commissioners may request items be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action. 8, minutes for the August and October 2025. And are those attached here,
Yes.
Maria? Okay,
Where's that?
So it's just a motion to approve the minutes.
Right.
If people agree.
I move that we approve the minutes from the August and October 2025 meetings.
thank you very much, Liz, thank you.
I second the motion.
Approved? Thank you.
Okay.
Item number 6, regular items. A, commission meeting location change. We have up to 30 minutes for this discussion. Recommendation, action items. Commissioners will discuss changing meeting location to council chambers beginning April 2026. The space is available at the current time and date. And I recall, Liz, that you were going to be making a visit to see if you felt it was ADA accessible. So could we hear your feedback on that, please?
I certainly understand why Maria felt like it was not accessible. The pathway up onto the dais, there is a
little lip.
rib on the edge of the pathway that makes it a narrower pathway. So I think technically it is accessible, like if you took out your tape measure, it would meet the building code. I hadn't realized when we started that discussion, you presented a lot of good reasons why we're here, you know.
Thank you.
I was focused on the idea of us being treated differently
Right.
from the other commissions.
Right.
But I really appreciated what you had to say about the fact that we're the only commission that has a center.
Right.
You know, and that the idea is that this is a good venue for the public to interact with us, and that's why we meet in the daytime. And I
Right.
think all of those arguments are valid,
Right.
and I agree with them as well. I'm also really excited that we're talking about going back to the library, because I also agree that the meeting we had at the library last year, you know, was well attended, and we got
Right.
a lot of feedback, and yeah, it was the most dynamic meeting that I've been to. So I think the council chambers are accessible, but I also have come to see the value of being here.
Well said, Liz. Thank you very
The
much.
Social Services Commission always meets in the council chambers, and they communicate with the council members that are there, and are given projects to do. The thing I handed out is the latest project. It's not very good. It's 1,800 units. Only 16 are for low income. The 0 are for very low income. So our senior citizens won't have any place in there.
I'm sorry to interject, but we do have to stay on topic for the agenda item, which was really about the location change and whether or not we want to pursue a location change.
Oh, yeah, the council
So I'd
chambers.
like to hear from,
Each person, yeah, why don't we each give our opinion?
Okay, I was not at the last meeting, so I didn't hear the discussion about why this would be a logical thing to do, and I don't quite understand why you would want to even go to the chamber, outside of what you just said.
When you go to the chambers, the council is there.
Not necessarily,
Well, most of them. And,
only if they agreed to come.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be there on Tuesdays at 1
I
o'clock.
don't think so either.
But I understand, and I do understand, visibility is important. And it has felt kind of like, oh, we're elders, so we're pushed over here to the senior center. At the same time, why not? And also, isn't the senior center changing the name to community center? Isn't?
that is something that we're looking at.
Okay, I thought it was. So the senior center really is supposed to, at some point, become a community center. And I think that's great, because it can still be a senior center, but it just opens it up a lot more. I don't think personally, so I'll just say this. I don't think personally going to the chambers is going to increase our visibility because of the time of day that we meet. At 1 o'clock, on a Tuesday, I don't think there's gonna be any council members hanging around to join us because they don't have anything else to do.
What if we combine with the social service?
Well, that's on the next topic.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
That's coming up.
So we'll,
Discuss that when it gets to that.
we're gonna visit that topic very shortly. So right now, I think if we each of us say, our own opinion, what we think. I'm gonna start, I'll say, I think this is a great spot. I think it's our fault that we don't get enough attention from the council, and we should be getting more attention from them. So I would vote to stay here.
I would as well.
Would you? Okay.
No.
No? Okay, so you're gonna vote for the council chambers. Liz?
I'm fine with whatever is decided.
Carol?
Don't we have to make a motion before we vote?
Oh, well, we will. I'm just hearing what everybody's opinion is.
My opinion is, I think that, in my opinion, having been here longer than anyone else, I think that it has been a disadvantage to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It has made it more easier for council to ignore this commission. I think if we want to grow, we would have to think about space that is already there,
Mhm.
and that could accommodate more people. And I think so. We already know that it's accessible, so that's no longer a question that's been answered. But I think we belong over at the council chambers, and it would be compliant with what Title II of the ADA says, is that we are to have equal treatment.
We also get very little done here. And I think not just meeting at the council chambers, but the possibility of combining with the Social Services Commission.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next. That's the next topic. Right now, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote on, you make
Is
some,
there someone that's not here today?
No?
Oh,
it's just
everyone's-
us.
No, I
Yeah.
thought someone had an appointment or something.
We're just the 5 people now on our commission, and after today, you'll be 4.
Mhm.
But you make some excellent, many excellent points, Carol. Thank you. And I can see exactly why it could be beneficial for us to go there. So let's have a vote within our commission. All in favor of moving these meetings to the council chambers, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, let's make a motion, motion to, yeah.
Oh, okay, motion to vote.
Yeah, motion to move our future meetings to,
Okay, motion to move all future meetings to the council chambers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
all right, who are the ayes?
Carol and Jeffrey.
Okay,
That's it?
okay.
You guys don't want to meet in the council chamber?
We don't wanna,
All in favor of,
We get nothing done here.
all in favor of keeping the senior commission meetings here at the senior/community center, say aye. Aye.
I'm abstaining.
Okay,
So we're tied.
so it's 2-2.
yep,
Okay,
so I don't think we can move anywhere until, if it's 2-2.
I see the value of both.
I do too.
And I don't think moving to the council chambers is what's going to, the other commissions do meet in the council chambers though.
Yeah.
Right,
We're the only commission that doesn't.
right.
I was on the Natural Resources Commission for 2 years, and they never met at the council chamber.
Oh, really?
Never.
Oh, where
Where
did
do
they
they
meet?
They had different places,
Oh, they just floated around the community?
yeah,
Interesting.
I think we'd
in
be
meeting
able to
rooms.
get,
But it was during COVID, so that
Oh,
was a complication for that.
right.
I think we'd be able to get more done
Yeah.
meeting at the council chamber. we're not getting much done here.
So how is it that you would get more done at the council chamber?
Well, if we can get the council members to come
That's
to our
the thing.
meeting, or, and you wanna bring this up later, but if we combine with the social services.
That's a different topic
Right.
entirely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. I see both advantages and disadvantages to both places, to be frank, as well.
Well, the population we represent, I think needs to be combined with the Social Services Commission to get.
Coming up, topic
get
coming up.
things done. We're
Yeah.
not getting anything done.
Well, yeah, correct, because actually, the council doesn't ask us. And that is a whole nother topic. But the council should have been coming to us from the very beginning with a general plan, don't get me started. And it's one of the reasons I'm resigning. We should have been asked to really
Exactly.
involve ourselves in that.
And-
And I wrote everybody a very strong letter about that
Yeah.
and heard nothing back.
I will just say, to keep us on topic, that at this point, my understanding would be that if it's at an impasse, because it's even and then there's an abstention, that we can't move forward with anything. So at this
Say
point, it will stay here, but it can be a topic to be revisited at our next meeting.
Yep,
So,
can we put it
okay.
on the
Yep.
next agenda?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely. And the
Alright.
other thing I wanted to say is that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. If we want to consider an off-site meeting and have multiple off-site meetings even at council chambers and reassess if it's something that, you know, is something that, so if you were to say, let's have an off-site meeting at council chambers, you're not technically saying we're moving there permanently. You're saying, oh, well, let's go over there and try it out. So anyway, it'll be on the next agenda, so.
One of the
TBD.
One of the things that did occur to me when I wrote the letter to the library last week, asking can we have a meeting there every year, is I actually thought, wow, can we have a monthly meeting at the library? And I really wondered about that, like, because it's such a hub for our community, and because there was a lot of other elder activities happening there, I actually wondered, I didn't ask because I wasn't
Yeah,
sure it was
I
my
don't know that we-
place to ask.
Yeah, I don't know that we can permanently be off-city location, you know, as our permanent meeting place, as not being at a city facility.
Oh, I
That's-
see.
I would have to ask for clarification on that. There have been other commissions, as Thomas mentioned, that have been in different places.
Right,
but
right.
even historical relations, when it was at the, it wasn't Hump Boyer, it was the Hattie Weber, but it was still a city facility.
Right, I got it.
It wasn't a council. So
Right.
anyway, TBD. We'll,
Yeah, okay.
I can definitely find out.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so moving right along to
Oh, yeah.
item number,
B?
okay, to outreach to seniors for 2026. Action item, commissioners will continue discussion on off-site location. Oh, we already did this. And any additional items. Okay, C, discussion.
No, because you did, just to give an overview of what was discussed last month and now. So at this point, we are engaging with the library to see if it's
Right.
available in the
Right.
spring. And then the other location that we had mentioned was Rancho Yolo.
Right, and I did hear back from them.
Okay.
And so I did contact Rancho Yolo because I happen to live there. And to be honest, it's a lot of work to work with Rancho Yolo. I know because I live there. And I think it's too much work for us. I mean, they want us to set up everything for the meeting, take everything down. I mean, they're not that cooperative as far as physically, you know, like they won't have everything ready for us just to slip in there. And,
I'm happy to take that over to, as far as if it's a good outreach opportunity,
Right.
even if there are some barriers, because we have been there before, and you're right, we do kind of have to do a lot of the.
Yeah,
I just
a
get
lot of the
extra
legwork,
early,
yeah.
and that's okay,
Yeah.
because it's for the
Yeah.
community, I don't mind that, if that's the one, the barrier.
yeah, the other thing that Elizabeth Lunsky stressed, and you know, she was very involved in this commission at one point, is that we need to have a really good speaker.
Yeah.
To attract people. And they will say about Rancho Yolo, they have a lot of meetings. all right? It's already a very meeting-heavy place.
Mhm.
So they have a board themselves, that has a monthly meeting, and then they have a lot of social groups that have meetings there. So it's a meeting intensive place. It's almost like a micro senior center, Rancho
Okay.
Yellow,
That
Yellow,
makes
'cause
sense, that makes sense.
there are about 500 seniors who live there.
That makes sense.
But I leave it up to you guys if you want to pursue. I've made the contact,
Yeah,
and the manager is, open to us going there. So it's a very viable, and if you're willing to do the setup,
absolutely.
yeah, it's a very viable option.
So there are two locations then that we've identified. If everyone is in consensus that those two, I want to hear from every commissioner if everyone's okay with returning to the library and then penciling in Rancho Yolo at some point during the 2026 year. And then if there's any additional opportunities, it doesn't necessarily even need to be an off-site meeting. It's additional ideas with connecting with the community.
Could we meet at places like the University Retirement Community? Or
Absolutely.
Atria, and there's places like that?
Yes,
Where there are
absolutely.
people who would be good to hear from.
Absolutely, yes, yes. So, library, Rancho Yolo, is everyone
University.
supporting URC, Atria?
City council.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. If we're saying that we could try
Yeah.
meeting at the city council chambers,
Yeah.
why don't we go ahead and schedule that?
Do you
Yeah.
wanna just, rather than have a vote of any permanence, we can just schedule the April meeting at city council, and let's just start with that.
That's
How
a
about
good
that?
idea.
Okay. Yeah. Well, should we do a little vote for that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay, so all in favor of meeting at the
Motion.
city
Motion.
council
Oh,
okay.
yeah, make a motion, yeah.
Okay, I'm making a motion to, meet at the city,
Council chamber.
council chambers for April, did you say?
Yeah.
For April.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yes.
All in
Aye.
favor? Aye. Opposed? Nobody.
All
So
right.
there you go, there's your April meeting.
Okay, wonderful.
And can we keep on the agenda the topic of the
Yes.
location?
Yes, yes. Okay. URC. So I've got
Have you
library,
actually
Rancho
gone in
Yolo,
there?
URC, and
Yeah, so that
Atria.
it does really work.
And we have been at all of those locations mentioned. Well, the library, our first time was last year, and what brought this was by design. We paired our commission meeting with their already existing elder group meeting, so that as soon as their meeting was finished, ours started, and so
Right.
people could stay and then interact with us. Any other outreach? I was thinking maybe Celebrate Davis or Farmers Market Saturday. Anything else as far as
I have a
connecting?
question, Maria.
Yes.
And it's a reoccurring question. Do you have a list for the communities that are owned by Yellow County Housing, or for the city of Davis, or the nonprofits that own low-income housing in the city of Davis? And I bring this up is because there are more likely to be extended family members and
Yeah.
seniors who are in these places. And if and if this is outreach, there should be outreach to those communities as well.
Okay.
One of the things this commission has done is outreach to middle and upper middle income communities. But people who are working class or moderate income, for whatever reason, I have not seen this commission outreach to
They
them.
live in West Sacramento.
Well, this is Davis.
Yeah.
Rancho Yolo is actually considered to be quite a low-income community.
I'm not familiar with them.
Rancho Yolo is a community.
I've heard of them, but I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
it's
with them.
280 modular and mobile homes on private land that tenants such as myself rent. So most people, and it's seniors, so it's a 55 plus community. Most people who live at Rancho Yolo purchase their mobile or modular home, okay, so they pay cash for it, because they're not easily financed. And then, we rent from a private corporation, that manages the park. There are almost, 560 elders who live at Rancho Yellow. And the average monthly rent there is $875 a month. So for Davis, it definitely does qualify for low income. Also, many residents there, over half that I understand, are on the CARE program with PG&E, and also on the subsidized water program with the City of Davis Water. So Rancho Yellow is definitely, from my experience, one of the most affordable senior communities in Davis, and really caters to people of moderate and low income.
There's been a change since I lived at Rancho Yellow, having to buy your units is very,
It was never a rental, the units were never rental, to my knowledge. I mean, I've lived there for 6 years.
well, I lived there in the early 20s, and you didn't have to buy your unit, you could rent. And the rent back then was $400.
Mm.
Yeah, it's changed.
Now, I live in Paul's Place, and my rent is $505, and that includes utilities and internet. So everything's included in the $505.
Right. Well, it's very good. Maybe we should have a meeting at Paul's place.
Yeah, I mean, mainly the only difficulty with offsite locations is that they have to have accessibility for the general public. It has to be a fully open meeting, and so there has to be an adequate community room space. But to your point, Ms. Gavin, I can definitely provide a list of affordable housing communities in the area so that we can make sure to visit base all demographics and all income amounts, so
Well,
that
this handout I gave was for Village Farms,
yeah.
and they're gonna have 1,800 units,
Right.
with only 16 for low income and 0 for very low income.
That's shocking.
And it goes for a vote in June, and I'm gonna vote against it.
Mhm.
Jeffrey, could you define low income and very low income? What is that?
Very low income would be me.
Yeah.
My social security is $1,383 a year, a month. And that's considered very low income.
Right.
So being able to rent units, the thing is, the Social Services Committee is the one that's assigned to developing these units, and it's not good.
Right.
Sounds like something that the
For
senior
sure.
commission should be involved with.
Yes.
I believe
Right.
that, for the purpose of establishing low income and very low income, is they use the Medi-Cal guidelines. And the Medi-Cal guidelines are it's something like, I don't know, 30,000 and under a year for one person, which many senior elders are. So, you know, I would be very interested, and I think there are statistics out there floating around, what percentage of the elder population in our community is considered very low income, has an income in the city of Davis, less than, and I think for Davis even, it's higher. I mean, I think they put it at around 38,000 and under for very low income, like to get the, monthly water stipend Do you know, Carol, do you have any ideas about that?
No.
I can get information for, yes.
I asked Google.
Oh, very
What
good.
did Google say?
Google
AI.
says in 2026, California's very low income levels that are defined by the Department of Housing and Community Development are 30 to 50% of an area's median income. So it makes it highly localized, with some Bay Area counties classifying household incomes over $100,000
Right.
a year as
San
low
Francisco,
Oh, my God.
yeah.
due to the high living
Yeah.
costs.
The
Um,
units in this Village Farm are over $750,000.
So individuals with incomes at or below
Okay.
138% of the federal poverty level. Federal poverty level is $15,650 a year for an individual. Qualify for Medi-Cal.
Yeah, I've met a gal.
Yeah.
But also, I have another idea, Maria.
We can make this a future topic to talk about seniors and housing, and since that report on homelessness will have happened by that time, we can make it a future agenda item. It's just that it's off topic for this meeting right now.
Since we're talking about outreach, it would be interesting to consider university students to actually give out flyers in these areas where we know seniors live. And they can get college credit, I think. It's like 1 unit or something like that. But there's one thing to contact the office. There's another if you put a flyer on someone's door and they can read it themselves.
Okay, great idea.
Okay.
Okay, item number C.
Wait. Did we decide on B?
Right now, we have a lot of really great options that we can continue to, because next month,
We'll be at city
we'll be
council.
at council chamber, or next month, March, we won't be at council chambers, we'll still be here, because that, yeah. But we'll have to continue, because we'll have to confirm the locations we've reached out to, and then I'll also have some additional locations, to consider.
Okay.
And we're not constrained to two, we are a little bit different in a number of ways, the senior commission, but we do more outreach offsite meetings than other commissions, so, if we wanna include another third or fourth one, that would be fine, so, yeah, we'll keep exploring this, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 6C, discussion of commissioner concept to modify commission structure. We have 30 minutes for this. Recommendation to receive and consider ideas presented by Commissioner Coupe, that happens to be me. So at our last meeting, very quickly, I had suggested, because I felt that we weren't being invited to participate by our city at all in city politics, I suggested that we consider merging with the Social Services Commission. And the reason is, again, housing. Okay, the number one topic that really drove me here was housing, because low-income housing for elders in our community is, as we talk about often, absolutely epidemic. I mean, it's there are just hundreds and hundreds of low-income elders who cannot afford a place to live in our community. So I felt that the Social Services Commission looked to me as an outsider, as just observing what's happening in our city, to be asked to involve themselves much more actively than we are in these types of issues affecting our community. So it's just an idea that I wanted to float out to everybody of merging the Senior Commission with the Social Service.
I often go to
Right.
the Social Services Commission meeting, and they do a lot.
Yeah.
Housing, services, outreach.
Homeless,
Homeless, they cover all that.
disability.
Mhm.
Yep. And, like this latest thing that was, the city council actually ordered them to do this. This Village Farms is not something that our population.
Right.
And we can have, if we join, we can have a say. And do a lot more than we're doing now. We're basically ignored by the city council. And when you have the meeting in the council chambers, you have a lot more people coming up to comment. And that's something that we need to.
Right. Yeah, when I joined this commission, there were also 2 slots open with the Social Services Commission. And I really looked hard at both of them. And I thought, oh, there's so many crossover issues. Why don't I just take the same issues that they're dealing with in the social services and deal with it with the elder population? That's kind of what I thought when I came on board.
I think it's an excellent idea to either have the mission of this commission merged with the social services and get rid of this one by name. I mentioned I was on Natural Resources Commission. That commission was asked all the time by the city council for their opinion about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at everything. They had subcommittees and they did all sorts of stuff. This commission, while I've been on it, has been asked nothing.
Right,
Yep.
same.
And so I think the merger is really something that has to be looked at very seriously. And if
I think
we
I
can-
joined the same as you, right, 18 months
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly.
So I think Jeffrey and Marcia, that's a great idea.
Can we have a vote on
We'll hear from,
I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, you don't have to make a determining vote right now, and the process is going to be, I'll be frank, it's not as easy as a done deal. They're going to be, however, depending on everyone in consensus, I'll, have to go back to, our supervisors and city manager's office and council and just devise and see. There is also just a kind of a formal process for something as big as this change, where we would come back to the commission and really delve into kind of the pros and cons and get very specific. And so it wouldn't be a done deal with today, but this was an opportunity to just have this discussion, and you don't have to make a determination, but we wanted to just get everyone's opinion on it, so.
what happens, Maria, if there's not even enough people though on our commission? I mean, this is an incredibly shrinking commission in my time.
Which isn't forever.
Okay. So, but what happens if there's just not even enough people to have a quorum or anything with our commission? Does it just continue limping along for
They're not gonna
indefinitely?
reduce the size, no, it wouldn't be
Okay.
anything like that, no.
it? So first we have to go to the city council to see if we can join with the social service.
So first will be, I want to first hear from the remaining 2 commissioners, what their perspective is.
Right.
Yeah.
Carol?
Well, in the beginning, we did have subcommittees and work on items. And there was a shift, and the shift really occurs when Bob Pooh changes the commissions. There's a big shift there, as there were more commissioners on this commission. I think that if they dissolve the scene, well, one of the reasons I think that one of the things is we're not getting things accomplished since what Bob Pooh did, and you said yourself, Marcia, we weren't included in the general plan.
Right.
I think that that could be a serious violation of senior rights because the city receives federal funds, or someone could make that charge. I am concerned about what has happened overall with the commission. The head of geriatrics at UC Davis was one time one of the commissioners here. And we also had a social worker that was a commissioner here.
Yeah.
So I think that there are some things that city council is responsible for, and it has to be it should be spoken before them. And also, I find that the city is discriminatory by not having a disability commission. And because you're senior doesn't mean you're disabled, you know. And a lot of times people lump those two together, but they're two different
Very
things.
common though,
You know,
statewide,
You
right?
know, they're two different things. So there's a lot of things that city council could do, and the commissioners on this commission should begin to ask and vocalize and go to some of the council meetings to bring these issues up.
Yep.
So is your feeling, Carol, that you would like to keep the senior commission as a senior commission? Or to look at being a senior and disabled commission? What's your personal?
I don't wanna link it with disabled, because as I said, that could be younger people as well. You know, we have disabled people throughout society, young and elderly. But I think, I am concerned about what has happened with this commission, because myself, at one time I was going to quit. Actually, if the other two commissioners had not resigned, I would have resigned before them. So that would have been 3 that would have left at the same
How
time.
long, may I ask, have you been involved with the senior commission?
About maybe 4 years,
4 years?
about almost 4 years.
Okay.
And I don't like what has happened to it. And I think city council had a lot to do with that, you know. And I don't think that, and I think we have been ignored, and I think that's deliberate.
So you are the longest serving commissioner on this senior commission?
Right now.
Right.
So when you started 4 years ago, how was it different than it is now?
Well, we did have, it was COVID, but also we did have subcommittees. And people were looking and researching into different things. And so, and it was diverse backgrounds in terms of who did what. And I felt when we lost goodness gracious, the head of geriatrics from the university, and well, she turns out, but, and we add an actual social worker, you know, but before they leave, there are some changes made. And then there are some things that don't get implemented, even though they've been on the agenda. And I used to be the convener for San Francisco Gray Panthers, and they were into everything. They were into
I bet.
everything. They go all the way back to the 60s. They were in
Right.
everything. So I can understand Jeffrey's perspective about social services, because many things encompass life experiences. But I am just very concerned because I didn't even know we had a senior center.
Yeah, so
I
back,
had been living here maybe 5 or 6 years before I found that out.
yeah.
So I do think that there are people who are not from Davis who are not aware of the center
sure,
actually
sure.
being here.
Sure.
So I think that there's some reckoning that city council has to do.
Where did the agenda items and issues come from? Who suggested the subcommittees and stuff like that?
Well, I forgot what subcommittee I
Internal.
was on.
They
But-
were internal. There were some from council, sorry, Ms. Gavin, to interject. There were some internal, like there was kind of some research done, subcommittee on loneliness and isolation in seniors. And that was developed or decided within the commission. And there should be like a focus, a time frame, and then a conclusion and ways, a path forward. There had been also some kind of projects, like you mentioned, like Lisa Miller from UC Davis. That was like tech support for seniors who were kind of falling behind, especially during COVID, because if folks didn't have access to internet, which cost money, they were even more acutely isolated than everyone else who was already isolated during COVID. Then there was strategic plan, Davis Downtown, plan where we would have a council member who would assign, or ask the commission to assign someone within our body to be a representative, much like Jeffrey has been, for the Yolo County Commission. But that would be where we would get, council directing us, to be a part of
When I
something.
was on the Substance Abuse Commission, we met with the city council, and they would assign us things to do.
Mhm.
And it was very useful, and it actually was much more, I should say, powerful. And we would actually write laws for the city. And we wrote the first anti-smoking law in the country, and then everybody followed us.
Mm.
There's anti-smoking laws all over the country now. And we had a number of other laws that we passed, directed by the senior citizen, directed by the council. We're not getting any of that now.
Ms. Gavin, did you feel like I characterized that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what happened here in our time, in the 18 months that I've been on the commission, is that our job description was rewritten without any input from us. And that is incredibly insulting, just incredibly, and demoralizing. And once I realized that, which was last autumn, I did make a serious attempt to address that myself with the council. But again, I heard nothing back, and that was all related to us being ignored by the general plan. And I think my outrage, to be honest with you, just ended up turning into indifference, which is not good for, any of us. But really, they had no right to rewrite, without our input, the reason that we exist. Because those of us who joined this commission joined the commission with one job description, okay? And then we ended up being assigned a much, much weaker job description that says nothing. That says absolutely nothing. And there we are. So we were really watered down as a voice in the community by the current council. That's I think where all of this really started.
All of our senior citizens are under the Social Services Commission, which at this point isn't doing nearly enough. And our input with them, or combining with them, and having the city council assign us projects to do would make us a real commission.
How many people on their commission, on the Social Services Commission?
Probably
Oh,
7.
a
Your
lot.
phone is on the floor.
Oh, thank
Mama's
you.
stepping on
They have a lot.
it. Do you know how many now? Because you go to their meetings.
I think there's 7.
Oh, only seven?
Seven regular, one alternate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what we were. When Thomas and I joined this commission, we were 7 with the alternate.
And it was reduced temporarily because of, my understanding was it was reduced temporarily, just in difficulty getting new persons, and we just wanted to ensure that there was no concern of a quorum, and so, yeah.
You make a really excellent point that I also want to share.
Yeah.
So since I joined this commission, I have gone to a lot of activities, maybe not a lot, but I've gone to numerous activities with the senior center, which I had never attended anything before I joined here. And one of the reasons I went is I wanted to hear from other seniors, what were their concerns? What did they think we should be doing? And also, I wanted to try to recruit more people onto our commission. One is 0 people, and I live also in a senior community, and I beg people in front of my house all the time, come to our meetings, come and share your concerns, the whole park bench issue, right, that I'm hearing about all the time. I'm like, come to our meetings. Nobody I've talked to, and I could be a pretty convincing person, is remotely interested in joining our commission. So that's one of the big challenges that we have, is that for whatever reason, and I get it, listen, I just turned 70, and I want my time to count for more fun, more interest, more, more things that I like as well, so I totally get it. But it's not easy getting people here, it's really tough.
I'm 73,
Oh,
disabled. So I was very lucky. It took me a year to wait to get a place at Paul's place.
right, I remember.
And I was living in my car most of that time. And what you have is the senior citizens that are homeless seem like they have psychiatric disabilities. A lot of that arises
Right,
from being homeless.
exactly.
And they have medical conditions where they need to have a home.
Oh, I'd be a lunatic if I was homeless. Yeah, it would make me insane, absolutely.
I agree with you that the restructuring of the commissions that was done, that was around the time that I started, because that council meeting where they confirmed my appointment was very, very long. It went to like 11 o'clock at night, and there was a guy singing at the microphone about, he changed the words to Fiddler on the Roof, traditions to commission.
When
commission.
did you join? When did you join?
And I didn't realize that that was the political environment I was getting involved in. But I ran an advisory council for the state of California. I've been on so many boards, commissions, and councils in my lifetime. And I don't understand why you have a commission that doesn't have a purpose.
Right,
It's really hard to keep people engaged when they don't have something that they're responsible for or that they're supposed to do. Other councils, I remember my very first, I was a commissioner I grew up in the city of Torrance, down in Southern California, and I was a youth commissioner on the city council. And every council meeting, there was a youth commissioner present. And we took turns being on the city council. Each one of us got to be at least at one meeting, right? And then we had a ton of activities and things that we were engaged in, in terms of trying to get the voice of the youth to the city government, but also to keep the youth of the city interested in the city. I think apathy for boards, commissions, and councils is not unique. It's not about us specifically, it's
Right.
everywhere,
right.
right? And certainly at the state level, the best participation is when they have more paid state employees on the advisory body, because they're paid to show up anyway. I'm paid to be here, so that works out really nicely for me, because I'm still getting paid to come to this meeting. But if you don't have a reason to exist, if you don't have something if you're supposed to write a plan, if you're supposed to write a paper, like when I was on the California Committee on Employment of People with Disabilities, right? We had a paper that we were supposed to do every 2 years that went to the legislature and the governor about the status of employment of people with disabilities in the state of California. Like that was a project, that was something that we could put ourselves into. I don't understand what we're doing here. Like,
Right,
we don't seem to have a reason to be here.
Right.
We don't seem to have anything that we're supposed to be doing.
We don't
Right.
have any input.
Right.
This feels very much like it's for show.
I agree.
Like it's to make the people of the city of Davis feel like the city of Davis cares about older adults.
Right,
But I remember when I started, they had just done that big homeless paper, right? The Social Services Commission
Right.
had participated on creating that homeless. And when I looked at it, there was no mention of older adults
Yep.
who were homeless. And I had just come from working on a project through my work of Sacramento County has 2 senior safe houses where homeless older adults who are escaping domestic violence live. And what an experience it was to work with the safe houses. The average age of the resident of one of the safe houses is 75 years old.
Yeah.
You know? And you meet these people that have been abused mostly by family members, and sometimes it's
Right.
financial abuse, but it's also physical abuse.
Oh.
And so, and I brought up at the time, and Maria, I know you passed it on because you brought back information from me. I said, why is there no mention of older adults in here? Because we are seeing historic levels of older adult homelessness that
Right.
has never been seen, like, since the Depression,
Right,
right? And part of it is just because the baby boomers are a huge cohort in
right,
general. And a lot of people worked in jobs that didn't provide them with financial security. You know, there's no pension, there's no
Right.
retirement. And so eventually you know, my generation will become the generation of older adults but it is a particularly acute phenomenon right now that our society is struggling to deal with. And I was surprised that there was no, and Marie, what you brought back to me was, well, it's not, older adults who are homeless are not more important than other people who are homeless. And I would argue that's not true, because they're more vulnerable.
yeah,
Extremely.
I mean, children who are homeless are also extremely vulnerable.
right,
And there was a lot of discussion about children and families. In city politics, in any politics, children and families tend to be more politically safe to focus on because they're the future, and that's who everybody wants, you know, in their community.
right.
So I would love to see us have a purpose. I would love for us to have, like, are we supposed to make recommendations to the city council about how to improve things for older adults? We could get into that, you know? If we were supposed to create a report, if we were supposed to, but we just don't have any purpose right now.
Right,
When the pit count comes out, we'll have a lot more information.
The pit count will have a lot of information. And that'll go to the social services commission.
this commission should have been invited formally to participate in the general plan. That would have been a really good project for us as a commission, to have been asked as a commission, hey, take a look at the senior population and make your contributions to Davison General Plan for the next 20 years. What do we want our community to look like for the next 20 years for the elder population, which you may by then be a member of.
Really close.
And maybe even Maria in 20 years.
When I moved to Davis 18 years ago, there was, I don't know if it was a commission, but there was an advisory body that the city convened for people with disabilities. There was a disability committee.
There is, and we still, the adaptive recreation program is actually here at the senior center, Jillian's office, and she's a program coordinator, and she does schedule and has had a great attendance. We had one dealing with estate and financial planning for the parents of disabled adults who want to insure, and those meetings, those meetings from that committee, they do exist, and they have been happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's still ongoing.
Yes,
Okay. Cool.
So is your opinion,
it's an
Liz,
advisory committee, not a commission, but yes.
right, is your opinion that we should retain the senior commission with purpose and push that back to the council to say, this job description you've given us is worthless, here's what we recommend.
Well, I wouldn't say this job description you've given us is worthless, because
Okay.
that's not good for negotiating, right?
Right.
I would say, you know, we're struggling. We don't have an identity. We're losing members. We're not attracting new members.
A lot of the responsibility for services is done by the Social Services Commission,
Yeah.
and we have no input.
I think they handle the community service block grants and the community development block grants that HUD gives the city for development and social services. And that's, I participated in the city of Hayward, and that is really involved. Like, you really need, because you get all these grant proposals and you have to evaluate them and you have to, so, I can't imagine. You see a commission you like, you think is really great, and you're like, oh, we'll just join them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see that, I don't think that's how it works.
Right.
Because they might not want us to join them.
Right.
You know, but I think the truth is that we're struggling, that we don't feel like we have an identity or a purpose,
Well,
that we're losing members, that we can't recruit new members, and the people who joined actually wanted to serve.
when I was a deputy public guardian, you had to be a Yolo County sheriff because your mandate was to enforce the law for the elderly and the disabled. I also worked for YCCC as a dual diagnosis counselor, and I set up their Social Security Representative Pay Program. And for a number of years, I ran Pine Tree Gardens West. So those were actually very good and active.
For the purpose of this topic, I just want to get, the synopsis is, the reason, you don't feel like you have a purpose and you're struggling. That's the first and most important thing that you need to express to our liaison and to council, and if they could at least, as the starting point, provide some kind of framework project so that something substantive, so that you feel like you're making a difference, that you're part of something that's making a difference. And it sounds like if this was a robust commission, if you felt like you had a lot as far as, work projects and whatnot, then you feel perhaps differently about wanting to dissolve this commission, exactly, or to merge. And so I guess the question is, council, do you have a way to create something robust for this commission to focus on? Or does council, or do we want to, and depending on that response, let's start with that, basically. We need to hear we need to get feedback for that.
Well, what we come up with is actually going to have to go through the Social Services Commission.
Oh, there would be a lot of steps, even if everyone unanimously voted to merge onto other commissions, there would be, many steps to go into
Yeah.
that direction, so.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so basically right now, all 3 agenda items will be back, so that, and we will have some answers for you, from council.
The other way, if I may add, to approach the council, and this is my way, is to say, here's what we want to do. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's who we are and here's what we want to do. We want to be a part of the general plan, and we want to tackle that as a commission. All right, and we want to have the senior part of the general plan. From my last meeting, if I may say this, I think that we should be telling the council what this commission is and what it stands for, including redefining our role, because I wrote it, but I didn't think it was appropriate for me to bring it today, unless I were staying, and I'm not. What I think our definition should be and what they say our definition is, and they're very different. But I don't think the council, to be frank with you, even cares or knows enough to know where that we should be headed. So if you want to keep a senior commission, I say tell the council what you want to do. And have the council sign on for it. Say, yeah, absolutely, you should be a part of the general plan, etc.
So how about making a subcommittee of this committee to write a draft of what that would look like, and then bring it back to this commission the next meeting, and then present it to the city council in a formal way?
Yes.
But we'll
That
still
sounds like
have
you're volunteering to run a
Social
subcommittee.
Services.
Oh, this is an excellent
You two
idea.
need to be on it.
Yeah, so what I'll do for our next agenda item, because this specific commission, this was commissioner concept to modify commission structure. And it didn't involve creating a subcommittee, which we should have, formalized and whatnot. And there is a form, there is a form template created by council where we just basically describe everything for the subcommittee. What's our purpose and goal, what's the timeline, what is the outcome, what is are there any fiscal considerations, so on and so forth. So I will bring that back for the next
Can
agenda
it be
item.
done in a more informal way, just an informal ad hoc committee of like-minded people who just want to get together and put something together?
She also
Not a
attended.
I
formal
don't think
subcommittee.
I think
Brown
everything,
Act,
even
yeah.
for
Sunshine
Brown
laws.
Act, we have to,
What?
even to create and define a committee should really be just agendized. That's not to say you don't have ideas already in mind, so that you don't hit the ground running, but we just have to stay within the framework of the agenda item. If we stray, it just, as you stated, Brown Act violation.
This commission is so tiny.
I know, right? Like, it's 3 people.
As it
If it's
is.
more than 3 people, you violate the
Yeah.
sunshine laws, but if it's 3 people or less, you don't violate the sunshine laws.
Well, that would have been even for 7, I mean, yeah, even though with, yeah,
When I go to the Social Services
Right.
Commission meeting,
yeah.
I always have something to say to the council, recommendations. And what happens is, it's not ignored, but it's sort of ignored. And then after the meeting, all the commission members come up and thank me, but they don't do it in the meeting.
Interesting.
And she attends the Social Services Commission meetings.
Carol?
No, our visitor.
Oh, our visitor. Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
So what we can do, oh, pardon me.
I see her at all the Social Services Commission meetings.
If you'd like to, kind of like, Commissioner Coupe came and kind of introduced this topic for discussion of commissioner concept, if you have a concept in mind and a framework that you'd like to present, and then we can create the subcommittee at that next meeting.
Oh, the alternative would be to skip the subcommittee and just have the commission members
Right.
start writing down ideas about what the commission should do.
Independently, absolutely.
Independently, and then sharing it with each other
That's
and
fine,
putting something together that way.
That one.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
for the next meeting, we
Yeah.
each bring our own
That one.
Well,
sort
it
of
could be-
concept.
Or we can be emailing each other and putting
No,
together.
but see,
No,
that
no,
trips up the
that's-
sunshine
Maria.
laws.
That's,
We would
serial
have to
meeting.
email Maria.
That's
Oh, I broke a lot of
The
laws.
idea
You
is-
Okay,
can-
then do it your way.
you.
Well, I'm just saying, the idea is that the
That's-
public has to be able to participate. on
So,
any kind of
so
deliberations
everyone
that
can
we
bring, you send their ideas to me,
Okay.
absolutely, I can compile
Okay.
them, and then we will have, at our next agenda meeting, we can discuss all of it in
Yeah,
open.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's
one
the
of
way to
our
do it then.
recommendations
Yeah,
Okay, so then that's
would
Okay.
have to
an
be
added item.
that's an added item, yeah.
combined with the Social Services Commission.
So it's
That would
not
be
being
one idea.
eliminated, it's just that at this point, we're going to just, introduce this other opportunity to just discuss, as Marcia was saying, like, what would make this commission feel meaningful?
What do we want our agenda to be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's just to be discussed, there's no formal, there's no final determination or anything,
You need to
and
join the social services.
and so, if that works, should we?
Yeah. We've hit our 30-minute mark, you
We've
guys.
got, and so we've got a full agenda
Yep,
for next month,
yep.
and, as Janet pointed out, this has evolved from discussion of commissioner concept to just discussing, I'll figure out some language for basically discussing, commissioner, basically the Senior Citizens Commission, ideas for function and purpose perhaps, as a broader,
How many people here,
Redefining the senior commission.
is
how
it
many people here have attended the senior commission meetings?
No, do you mean social service commission?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Social Service
How many have attended a social service commission? I never have.
I never have.
I hate
have.
meetings.
I have.
Yeah, we should probably.
Well,
Yeah, okay, you guys, it's gonna,
Did
we're
we
gonna,
get, did we get to item 7?
well, item 7 is upcoming agenda topics, which is kind of what we segued to, right now.
We have everything on the table other than modifying, A and B for certain. And then C will be, changed from concept to changing the language to, commissioners will discuss, I would say, I'm trying to think of it on the budget.
Champion issues we want to champion.
Oh, okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
champion issues, okay, what issues do we as a senior commission want to champion? And I think that word champion is really important, because you're so right, Liz, we need to have some fire in the belly. We need to have issues, and I will just throw out there again, you guys, don't forget the general plan, which we've been completely ignored with. And if I were to continue, which I will not, that would be my number one thing, is I would say, get us involved in that general plan, because we want the city of Davis to create a better environment for our aging population, including housing.
And I'll have to check my notes, but we'll also have to, elect a chair
Oh,
to
yes.
lead the meeting. So, I'll check my notes because I know somewhere in our minutes we had, in Marcia's absence, there was, we had someone who would be, who would lead the meeting in your absence, and
That was
I'll take a
you.
look at that. Yeah. Another
Carol, it
commissioner.
sounded like you had
But we'll
something,
also formalize the chair.
it sounded like you have something you want to add for upcoming
Oh.
topics, Carol.
Is there?
I don't think there's,
Thank you.
are there any places in Davis for people to come if there is a power outage with PG&E to charge
Yeah.
their medical?
There was the
Google
Baptist
medical-
Church on Pauline Road, who are excellent. They are a lifesaver for the residents at Rancho Yolo. We often have power issues. And that Baptist church, I will say, and I'm agnostic, but they're amazing. Those people are amazing. And anytime there's a power outage in our community, and I think also in Davis, that church has generators. I hear them a lot. And they are really very open door. So that's one place I know.
And the city, go ahead, Jenna.
I was just gonna say that, the city typically will post on social media and on the website where the locations are at. You've had it here.
We have activated as for, in fact, even for Rancho Yolo power outages as a location where people have, because if it's a very hot day and you don't have air conditioning,
Right.
basically, it's typically tied to weather relief, but not necessarily. But we've activated as, for that purpose, the Veterans Memorial Center. I also understand, maybe the fire department, or there was a place for
I
medical
thought that.
equipment as well but anyway.
I don't know.
But anyway, I can say for certain that, both the senior center and the Veterans Memorial Center have activated as locations where people can come, for relief and also, to charge their medical equipment, any equipment.
The downtown.
It would be wonderful if we could suggest to the city that they do a flyer twice a year about that, about this being one of the places. Because people would forget, but if you do a flyer, maybe someone would use a magnet and put it on their refrigerator. I know City College used to, for many years, they used to actually mail out the schedule for City College, and if they could pay for that book to go to every address in the city, then the city of Davis can do the same and let people know, well, one, definitely during the summer and maybe the winter, places available when there are power outages. Because your power's out and you don't know, you're really in a pickle.
Great idea.
Yeah. Are there additional agenda, sorry.
That's okay. You can have my job. Are there any other upcoming agenda topics? we want to add for the March agenda? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, commissioners.
I would like to have for the March meeting, the pit count,
The pit count?
yes.
Information.
That we could definitely do that in the, yeah. I'll
It's
figure
been a
out what-
pleasure working with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
for being-
Oh, thank you, Maria. Thank you.
Pit count.
Well, thank you, Marcia.
I'll see you at the library, you guys. I'll see you at the book sales.